connected.
Boom, we live, boys. What was the topic again? Oh yeah, why you
want to ride a motorcycle?
Why you want to ride? So you connected it. Good job. Hit done. What is up, all the peoples? How you doing? Hopefully you can hear us okay. Let us know if you can hear us okay. We're using the new Mikey mic.
New mic.
And we're having the beer. We're having some beer that Dan Shea donated, the $20 super chat.
Thank you.
So the goal here is to kind of chit chat about why you should get a motorcycle, but then we're also trying to get right here. Oh yeah, I forgot to put the chat there. Ben, what are you doing? You're silly. There we go.
Where do I go to chat?
We're just gonna get rid of the chat box. Oh. All right, Big Horn Kevin, how you doing? Let's see. We got 5 people in here. That's more than you thought you would. Hey, buddy. So, why should you ride a motorcycle? Well, you got me into motorcycles. Isn't that something? So why did you tell me to get one? Do you remember?
I just wanted somebody to ride with because none of my friends rode. So I was like the only one riding around, and I wanted to enjoy it with other folks. And I knew you'd like it.
You thought I would like it?
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah. Plus, I wanted a friend.
You don't have any friends?
No.
If a bunch of random letters, showed, so I fell asleep. So we're just, I got into motorcycling and stuff. And the reason why I did it is because Matt convinced me, and I bought a freaking brand new Harley.
Woo-woo.
And we got the Sportsters and all that stuffs. And then, but why did you guys start? Why should you start? There's a bunch of reasons to do it. I think for me personally, the mental health thing, and then it's just having a lot of fun, something different. But why do you guys ride? Have a drink with us. Don't drive.
Don't ride and drink.
Don't ride and drink.
Drink and ride. I guess you could ride and then
you
could ride and then drink.
Ride and then get to the place.
Don't ride again.
Yeah, don't ride again.
Yeah.
This one is just kind of an impromptu type thing. We didn't really think about the topic. We just wanted an excuse to drink.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start a podcast though. Podcast. We're gonna start a podcasting in my new room in my house, and we're gonna actually have topics and stuff we're gonna talk about. Maybe get some phone calls in. Do it once a week. So I got into it for my dad. Now I'm in it to have a big family like the DDFM crew. Oh, this is the empty one. But, like, how would you convince, trying to get it back on topic, how would you convince, I mean, somebody's already going into the dealership wanting a bike, so, like, what was if they're on the fence? Like, how would you convince them to make that sale? Like, I mean, you want to make the sale, right? So, like, how would you... Like, I don't know if I should ride. Like, I mean, I don't know. I like this bike, but I don't really know how to ride. So, like, why would I even want to start?
You know, I mean, we try not to get people just to buy if they're not going to ride it. You know, we want people to ride it and enjoy it. And I think the majority of people that actually buy a bike and ride a bike enjoy it. But I think at that point, I think it'd be good to... I think that's why rider safety courses are so important, because you can spend $300 or $400 or whatever it is for a beginner safety course, and then if you go through it and you absolutely hate what you're doing and you don't think you'll enjoy it, well, then you don't have to drop thousands of dollars on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And and have to deal with that. So you do a rider safety course and you get comfortable on it and you love it and you're enjoying it. I mean, at that point.
Well, what about like
ready.
Ones if like somebody comes in, because we like at the fire station, people would always come, like not little kids, but like teenagers would be like coming like, how do you start? How do you become a firefighter? Like, what is it like? Like, what does it feel like when you're like, what do you do? So do you have anybody that comes into the shop and they're like, what does it feel like to ride? Like, I've never sat on a motorcycle. Like, what does it feel like? And like, how would you like explain that to them?
You can't make that comparison.
It's so hard.
Yeah, because you should tell those kids that want to be firemen not to be firemen.
I know.
That's probably what you should tell them.
I do. I tell them not to be firefighters.
Yeah.
And then,
but motorcycle people, you're like,
Yeah.
you need to do it. Jump on and go. And
well, then what do you say? Like for me, I personally like, 'cause I get questions like that all the time, and they're like, I want to start riding, but like, how do you do it? What does it feel like? Is it scary? I'm a little scared here, but I mean, I heard it's really fun. So I just tell them like, the open road, you see the street, going below you, you get all the wind. It's a different feeling than driving in a car. Like how would you explain it? Like guys in the chat, how would you explain it to somebody? Like, because they obviously see you ride, so like how would you explain that? But like, has anybody come to the shop and has asked kind of like a question like that, or are they all pretty much know like they want to ride?
I think it might happen more at Harley, where you get people just stopping by that don't ride or never ride, something bigger, or maybe like the import shops. When they come into Indian, it's generally they're there for a reason. But there are a couple people, especially like they come in with like friends who ride,
Okay.
but they don't ride at all. And I think at that point they're like, no, we have people that I'm not interested in riding. I wouldn't do it, stuff like that. And then you ask them why, and then a lot of it is, just uncomfortable with the fact that you're not in a car and you're driving around Tucson with a bunch of people. So I think that's the big difference. But
yeah, it's really hard to explain what riding is like, because like Nikki didn't know until she rode, and then when she was on the back of the bike, she kind of had an understanding of part of that stuff, like the whole open air and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's different.
What we tell people generally is think of your most pleasant and happiest experience that you've had in your entire life, and then it's the next one down. That's what I tell people.
The next one down.
It's the next one down.
Just barely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you had a guy come in with his wife, that answer should be, oh, it was the day I got married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you say, well, it's the next one down from that, then you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not going to be pissed at you.
That's true.
So, yeah.
You should actually be pretty happy. It's like it won't
exactly.
top that.
She's like, this guy knows.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's going to buy a motorcycle, and it's not going to be better than me. So
Tin Can says, Jimba Itai, Japanese for the unity of horse and rider. That's pretty cool. Is that what Ariana Grande got on her hand?
Yeah, I was going to say, you should get that tattooed.
That tattoo. Small barbecue. Marriage counseling with Matt.
Oh.
Yeah, so people show up to the shop and Matt's giving out some advice over here, keeping the guys out of trouble.
I know how to make marriage succeed. So let me know. Yeah. Ask me anything.
Ask Matt anything. That's going to be the new
Don't ask
podcast.
this
guy. Shut up. Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. Oh, man. Shut up. Anyways, Big Horn Kevin, at our shop, it started one summer where one guy bought a Harley, then all of a sudden there were 6 of us. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, once somebody starts something, everyone kind of wants to join in, and then it's a good hobby. It's not like one person's just like drinking heavily and everyone starts drinking heavily. That's terrible. It's actually a good hobby to have.
Yep.
Unless you guys are all acting like dum-dums. I never followed suit with you riding like an idiot, though, so that was good.
I didn't ride like an idiot.
Oh, come on. How many times did you drop your bike? Just out in the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever dropped it in the neighborhood.
You slid on gravel. No, it's the rain's fault. Never mind then. Are you guys subscribing? Just making sure. I want to see the 518 go up.
I did drop the Sportster in the neighborhood when I first started riding.
Wait. Oh, I never did that.
I did. That's because you had me to teach you how to start.
Just saying.
If I would have had a Matt to teach me how to start, I wouldn't have quit, or I wouldn't have dropped my bike. So that would have been fine.
What should I get my wife? She wants to get a bike.
Scout.
I
don't know. It depends. If you're riding just around town and you have if she's not going to go anywhere, longer trips or anything like that, or even hour-long trips, you can get her just about everything. I mean, you can go from, I wouldn't get her a 250, but anything 500 cc's and more, are probably okay. If you wanted to go on any sort of longer ride, a Scout's great. I like the Scout 60 a lot. We sell a lot of those bikes to beginner riders because they're short seat heights. They're 25.3-inch seat heights, but they're powerful enough to, satisfy people for the long haul. So it's pretty nice. That's what I would do.
We got questions now for Matt. Seems like everybody is asking you stuff. No one cares about me, but whatever.
People care about
Oh,
you.
I know MTG Rider said, what's going on, Dan?
Yo,
Okay.
Dan.
Yo, Dan. Boston, there's nothing wrong with drinking heavily. Just, I'll just leave it at
Go
that.
up. There are questions up there.
Okay.
Go up there.
All right.
There you go. Cool.
Oh,
maybe not. All
okay.
right.
So, anyways, how did your wife react to your crash? Did she want you to quit riding?
Oh, so my wife reacted extremely favorably towards the accident. She cried a lot and stuff. But she was pretty cool with it because I was alive. I'm sure she wouldn't have been as cool with it if I didn't make it. So she
No shit, Matt.
Yeah, all right.
She wouldn't be as cool.
No, it was a really, really difficult time, I think, for her. And then once time passed and we got to talking about things, I'm still not riding really at all. But she's cool with it. She's fine with it. It was just one of those things that happen, and it doesn't happen to everyone, but it does happen, and we're able to move on. But she wants me to continue to ride. I sold my bike because physically I'm not quite ready yet, but at some point I will be, and she's on board. She wants me to be happy, and she's a really, really great wife. So.
Aw, it's nice. Is she supporting you? She's wearing Indian motorcycle merch right now.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. Bighorn says, question for Matt, does a custom paint job affect trade-in value? Ooh, so if somebody has a custom paint job, do they come in and be like, this is like a $5,000 paint job, I want you to give me some cash for that? Or does it do anything?
It's not going to affect trade value much. The only time I think that it'll affect trade value is if you brought the bike in to me and you wanted to trade it in, and I had a guy, in my list of people's looking for something particular. Look, I'm looking for this exact paint job. This is what I want. It would benefit the dealership then to get the deal done with you, and maybe they're able to give you a little bit more because they can go ahead and turn that thing to somebody who's looking for the exact thing. If it's not the case, if somebody's not looking for that particular bike, it generally doesn't affect trade value at all. So it might actually take trade value down. So on some motorcycles, they're supposed to be a certain color or a particular paint scheme, and if you go ahead and paint over that'd be a problem. So like Indian makes Harley, for example, your CVO bikes, your custom vehicle order, those are
Is that what CVO stands for?
I don't know what they stand for, but that's what I'm assuming it stands for. I don't know. Harley's got an acronym for just about everything, and none of them make any sense. So, I think it's custom vehicle operation. I think it's something like super.
I'm gonna look it up. That's
super lame like that. So no. So if you were to custom paint job on one of those, then trade value probably goes down because they're looking for that particular style. So I don't know. That's a tough one.
That's a weird one. Matt, private or trade-in? Like you can get more with the private, but
well, so hold on.
maybe.
So
I don't know.
so generally speaking, it depends on what you're trading it in towards. So private, you can ask more. And then, it all depends on how patient you are. If you sit there on that thing for however long until somebody comes and buys it, then you might be able to make more. The drawback to it is if you really want that bike that you're trying to trade it in towards, how long are you going to wait before you not get that bike or before you get that bike? So most people want it and they want it now. So if you can make a really quick turn, maybe within the month, privately, and you can make more money on it, then that'd be the way to go, and you could absolutely try. The only difference for us is that some states give you a tax break. So if let's say your trade-in value, let's say your trade-in value is $20,000. Well, that's probably not fair. Let's say it's 10,000 on bike. Let's say it's 10 grand. So here in Tucson, we're 8.7%. So on 10 grand, that's $870 that you wouldn't have to pay in sales tax towards your purchase. So let's say you're buying a $20,000 bike and you have to pay $1,700 in sales tax, you pay half. So it's really, really nice in that case. Indian is really, really cool because they offer you trade-in incentives. So right now they're offering, if you traded in your motorcycle on a Roadmaster, you get $2,000 more than what the trade value is. So if your trade value after inspection and all that is 10,000, then they'll give you 12. So it's $2,000 more than whatever the book value is typically, or what it's worth. If it needs tires and brakes and all that, there's so many things that go into trade values. But so in that case, if your bike was worth 10 and you'd get 12, it'd be 12,000. And then 8.7% here in Tucson of that would come off the price of your new bike. So let's say, just for easy numbers, it's $1,000. It's $1,000 in sales tax. That's a $13,000 value on that trade-in instead of 10. So that difference, that $3,000 difference, might close the gap between a trade value and a retail value that you can get on Craigslist or Cycle Trader or something like that. And at that point, that might make sense, and then you just say, hell yeah, let's do it, and trade your bike in, take your new bike home, and go have fun. If it's still $2,000 or $3,000 or $5,000 difference, it's still a significant difference. Then you can absolutely take it home and throw it on the web and see how it goes. And give it a couple weeks. If you have no interest, you're asking too much, and then you drop it a couple $1,000. If you have no interest there, then you should probably go back to the dealership and do that deal. So that's probably how I would go about it.
Is Indian undervaluing by $2,000 kind of like the whole 99-cent scheme? Would you do a trade-in with another dealer without them knowing who you are or where you work? Like, would you do it? That's kind of like an insider thing, right? Like, would you go out and trade somebody else thinking you can make more money?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm understanding what they're asking.
I don't know. I'm confused.
It's Indian undervaluing by $2,000. Oh, I see what you're saying. So a lot of that is relative to the dealer. So if you guys know, so dealerships, the big misconception for trade-ins on motorcycles is that they go off a KBB. That's not an accurate value for motorcycles. So they use NADA value. So the NADA book. That's what auctions use. That's what trade-ins use. That's the value. So anybody using KBB, it's going to be different than the dealership. So if you use an NADA value, that's going to be more along the lines of what the dealership's thinking about as far as value goes. So at that point, what? Oh.
Throw another one.
So NADA book value. So if you look up NADA book value and you look at trade value and then you go into the dealership and they're just gaffing you and they are, then don't do it. And then you try a different dealer. It's pretty, if you're going out and you're buying things, you can go somewhere else and buy that thing. So, you work with the dealership because they're local and it'd be really great to create some sort of, relationship with them, but it's got to be reasonable and it's got to make sense for you. And it's also got to make sense for them. So, if they're just undervaluing your trade completely, just because, they want to own it right, or they're basically trying to rip you off and they have that $2,000 to play with, then, think about it. And then if it's something that works for you, then you're set. So I think
I'm just happy I get to act like an idiot because it's not my channel.
you act like an idiot all the time. So yeah, dealerships will absolutely, I guarantee there's dealerships out there that will undervalue trades, but be smart. So try to do some homework and, I mean, it's got to work for you. So if it doesn't work for you, just say no and then say, this is what I can do. And then they could say no or yes or whatever you want.
Cool.
Yay.
So I got a Harley pay out $8K for your sport. Damn, that's pretty good. You had an 83, I think. When I paid $7, had some upgrades. They initially tried to value at $5, but I walked out and they called and offered $8. Damn. What was that all about? I mean, do you guys do that? Well, I wouldn't say you guys. I mean, is that like a typical, like, that almost sounds like even a car salesman type thing, you know?
No, I mean, dealerships have some wiggle room, right? So they probably offered you what they legitimately want to own your bike for. And so if they say, hey man, we'll give you five for a Sportster is probably, as a trade-in value, it's probably not that bad of a value. But at the same time, it doesn't work for you. So if they probably legitimately wanted to own it for $5, it probably makes sense to own it at $5 for dealership purposes. And then you walked, and so they obviously want to sell the bike. Harley has lots of profit margin in them, so for them to come back and say, hey man, we'll give you a 7 or 8 or whatever it was, they're still making money on the bike, so it makes sense for them. But yeah, man, they give you something that makes it work for you, and it got it done. So if you took the deal and you did it, then great, and the deal worked for you, and the deal worked for them, and they wouldn't have done it if it wasn't going to work for them. So, they don't sell bikes for nonprofit. I'm sure they made something on it, and it made sense in one way or another for them to sell you that bike and up your trade value to get it done. So that's that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, them coming at you at $5, most dealerships are good. Unless they're trying to completely rip you off, and there's been experience of people getting ripped off there, most dealerships are going to give you the number where they're comfortable at, and then you work from there. You got to start somewhere, and they typically start where they want to be, and then you go from there.
Yeah, so I'm messaging MTG Rider. He's asking a question about tuning for what was it, the fuel for better performance on stock pipes, and I said yes, just and I put in the Sportster analogy. I don't know about other bikes, but for Sportsters they run lean out of the factory, so I mean you're gonna get a little bit less fuel mileage, but you're gonna get a better running bike if you tune it. You can tune it to stock pipes, but then after that, if you ever go and get, especially if you get the FP3, if you ever go and get different pipes, you can auto tune. Yeah. You can tune it to whatever it is. Same thing with the new air intake. So that's why I put right there, the FP3 is my best purchase ever, is because every little upgrade I did to it in the fuel system area, in that little line, in that system, I was able to do an auto tune and made the bike run the way it should have ran. So that's why it was worth it to me. And then Boston, he traded in his 83. He didn't say it, but he sent me text messages. And he got a Street Bob. Did you get a Street Bob? It's a pretty badass bike. It looks pretty cool.
What year?
New, 2018.
19 or 18?
Was it 19 or 18?
Is it a Dyna or Softail?
It's Softail. It's a Softail. Nice. Yeah, it looks nice. It looks sick.
It's a small tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really small tank.
And then the speedometer, I think, is on the handlebars, right?
Oh, cool.
Is that little?
That's a good one.
Yeah, 2019 Street Bob.
Nice.
Boys. And congrats on that. Hopefully you're having fun with that. He's asking, are you riding again or are you done?
No to both. I'm not riding again, but I'm not done. Right. As soon as I'm ready physically, I'm gonna get something. So I don't know if I'll get a Chief like I had. I might go lighter, something like a Scout or something like that, because I don't ride for very long. I don't go on big trips, and that might change. But I think something like a Scout or the FTR. I'll probably go that route.
The FTR would be sweet.
Yeah.
Really, you should get like a dirt bike. and go off road, crash again.
Boston, you come to Tucson, man. I'll hop on the back.
He lives right next to you, kind of on the southeast side of Tucson.
Oh, he's not in Boston?
No.
I wouldn't have said that if I thought he lived in Tucson.
Yeah, he lives close. He lives close to like all of us now that I moved out here.
All right, man.
So.
No, I said I would. So 4 nuts, 2 butts, man. We got it down.
I met him in person. He says you've met at Barrios.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was there with his.
I had a head injury, man. I don't remember much.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people here. You can ride on the back of his bike. Motor Ricky. Yeah, it's great having the FP3, man. And once you get the exhaust, you can adjust it. Does it also help to get a new air filter system? If you get something that's more of like a higher intake type thing, you're gonna get more oxygen and all that. I don't know how all that mechanical stuff works, but I know it gives you more power. But you're definitely gonna need to tune it.
If you put an intake on, you need an exhaust, and if you put an exhaust on, you need an intake, because what you're doing is you're bringing more air into the motor, into the bike with the intake, but you're not expelling more air through the exhaust, and then the same thing flip side. So it doesn't make any sense to do one. You should do both if you're gonna do one of them.
I'm just watching him throw food on the ground. It's funny. In general, is there certain mods that would increase or decrease trade-in values? Like, does it really matter?
Not typically. Like if you cut the frame and you did like a raked out, modification, that would void it. Like they probably wouldn't even take it in on trade. There's not a whole lot you could do the bike's worth something regardless of what it looks like. So there's some motorcycles out there that look awful, and from a dealership standpoint, you get to the point where you'll just wholesale it to somebody else and you won't keep it. So that might affect some trade value there. But there's not a whole lot I think that would decrease it enough to where you can't make a deal. Like exhaust and intake and stuff like that. They might help, like big bore, like a big bore kit. Those are $3,000 to $5,000. It's expensive. The only problem with that is that for dealership purposes, they can try to get more money on it, but the guy that's trying to buy it may not care. So he's here to buy the bike, and he's like, well, I don't care if it's big bore, then I'll pay you this, and then that's what affects value. So banks and lending, they're not willing to give dealerships any more money just because of modification like that. So it's difficult. Sometimes you can get it done, sometimes you can't. So not typically adding trade value, but it could probably hurt more than trade, or more than help.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't get anything from my bike.
No, your bike is.
It's all torn up. It's all torn up.
Yeah.
But can you since you can't trade it in, like some dealerships they do conscriptions, right? Or what is it called? Where you take it to the dealer and they sell it for you.
Conscription. We'll go with conscription. Yeah, man, it's close. No.
Subscriptions.
Consignment.
Consignments.
Yeah.
Shut up. You only had 2.
What?
I'm drinking.
I've been drinking all day.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Keep going.
All day. Hey, babe. Thanks.
Conscriptions.
Consignment. So some dealerships do consignment, and I don't. So it's I don't know, man. You still own the motorcycle. So it's at the dealership, and it's getting essentially just the walk-ins and the people that happen to be on their website looking through their inventory. That's it though, and you still own the bike. You're still making, if you have a loan on it, you're still making payments on it. Like it doesn't make a ton of sense to do consignment. People like it because they think that they'll get more money for it, but sometimes they don't.
Well, that was me, Bighorn. I'm typing on the computer. Well, what bikes? Let's jump into a different topic. What bikes have you ridden? Because I remember you said you went up to. Did you go to Oregon or something? Ride dirt bikes?
Mm-hmm. Washington.
Yeah, I was up there. Mm-hmm. So what bikes have you ridden? Like I don't think they know a lot about your motorcycle history other than what they've seen from me and the fact that you're at at Indian?
Well, I mean, being in the industry, I've ridden a lot of bikes. So, I mean, a lot.
Like the Tour
Gold.
Master?
So, Tour Master. Like the Yamaha? That Tour Master? Oh, I don't know. So I've ridden every Indian that that you got, and then I mean, I've ridden Gold Wings. I've ridden. Oh, we're cheersing. Look at that.
Cheers.
I've ridden Gold Wings. I've ridden every Harley model that they have. I haven't ridden the new Softail like Dyna mixes. I haven't ridden those like Boston's new bike. I haven't ridden that one just because physically I haven't had the opportunity. But anything prior to really 17, I've ridden just about all of it. Yeah, 18 Goldwing is weird. Yeah, Goldwings are weird in general, but the new ones are.
I haven't seen the new ones. So what's so weird about the new ones?
They're just strange. They should have made. Honda's weird with Goldwing. They should really make. Goldwings have been around for so long that they should have it figured out by now.
And you don't think they have it figured out?
I don't think they do.
Auto transmission.
So some of them do. Some of them have a clutch. I rode the one with the clutch. See, it's like a God, it's like a CTA. I don't know what it is, CTV or something like that, where it's it's almost like a semi-automatic transmission in it, and you go, and it's funky. And I've ridden bikes like that, and I don't.
Hey Spiffy, how you doing? Yeah. It's weird.
Some people like automatic. Some people ask for automatic bikes so they don't have to shift.
Well, I know, but isn't there like a DVT one?
Yeah, it might be that one. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Africa Twins like
that. Yeah, if it's Honda and it's called DVT, it's probably a Goldwing. So
Honda Africa Twin, Honda Goldwing.
Dan's putting it all together tonight. So.
I didn't get that until now.
Jesus.
Shut up. Fuck. Drink a beer.
Fully auto would be funky. I don't think I would enjoy it.
That doesn't nice. Well, I would like a scooter. Like I think a scooter, if they made one that was like a 400cc, I think that'd be pretty sweet. They make 400cc scooters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Alan White just subscribed.
Indiana, come here.
I need to change it to where it's not a zombie and something special, but we're using his software. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You got a cool first name because that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like not. Yeah, trying to be not dumb. But I am.
All right, you are dumb.
Yeah. You coming to my birthday party Saturday? I saw some of that stuff. I missed it. So birthday. I need. Yeah, Spiffy. He lives in Tucson too.
His name's Spiffy? Because it says Brian.
Well, Brian Muir, I know him in the real life.
Oh, okay. Where's it at? Where's the party?
You and Nicky should both come. I think is it at the King House?
What is the King House? I've lived here for a while now, and I don't know what that is.
See, this is the crew lingo, bruh.
Oh.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, bruh. Yeah, babies.
All right.
But anyways, what is it? Do you know more of that question? The big
when you say exhaust, is that just header pipes or pipes and slip-ons? Do you need tuned if you add some? If you just add slip-ons, alone bring more air out of the bike. So just slip-ons with an intake, you should want to tune it. The tuner that he has would be fine with that. Header pipes, they give you a little bit more. But if you just do slip-ons, you probably want to tune it. It'll help.
Yeah, because I remember on the FP3, it asked me do you have slip-ons, this, they have quiet baffles, no baffles. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do. And I think the AutoTune app just got updated too. So there's like even more stuff. I'll have to do a review on it.
I know AutoTune, sometimes with AutoTune you need a header system because they get with your O2 sensors and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it goes off the O2 sensors, I think.
Right. So if you mess with your headers, that's a problem.
Could be.
If they don't have O2 sensors.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. Because I think it goes based off the O2 sensors.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. So MTG Rider said he drove a fully auto. Like, which one? Like, what is that? I mean, I can't think of it. It's like, I'm so used to, like, if you pull full, you have to, do everything. But like if you go fully pegged, if you go all the way back, was it just like all one move?
I would imagine so. Yeah.
It's so weird.
I haven't ridden the new Goldwing that's automatic. I rode it with the clutch, but I've been on like the Impulse, like the electric Victory that they had. So
You
it
said that
had,
thing was
it was
powerful.
semi-automatic. Yeah, it was really powerful. But it was semi-automatic, so you could shift if you want, but you'd still be able to go. I mean, you could start in 4th gear if you wanted to. It didn't matter what gear you were in to start.
Is there even a gear?
Yeah, I mean, it had gears, and then so you could literally put it in the top gear. There was no clutch, and then you just nail it, and then you're gone. And it was, it was fast. It was wicked fast. So the electric bikes are really, really fast. They're just really expensive, also.
Very expensive.
And they don't last very long.
I think it might be. I think the one I have is. I don't know too much about that. My FP3, I think it's for fuel injection.
Yeah, I don't know. God, man, I think tuners on carburetors.
I think that's like the.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. That's a John Maxwell question. He's the dude. I know this was probably better for Matt's last chat. It's fine. This is the time to ask questions. We're all hanging out. We're gonna do this for an hour. I think we're at 30-something minutes. Is Indian going to ever fix? Fuck, you read it, man.
Dan needs a ride home. Yep.
I'll just spit in the mic.
Woo!
Go ahead, read it. Big one.
I know this is probably better for Matt's last chat. Is Indian going to ever have fixed wing fairing? If they do, I'll trade my Road Glide in.
The Springfield Dark Horse? No, not Springfield. Chieftain? No.
No, that's a Batwing fairing. That's fork mounted. So if they do a frame mounted fairing.
Or like the CVOs and stuff.
No, just like Road Glide. So you CVOs. They have CVOs all through the lineup.
Okay. I know what it means now. So
like Road Glide
stay straight.
Yeah,
right?
So like the Vision. So like Victory made the Vision, or like a Goldwing, or like God, there's a lot. The Kawasaki Voyager. Those are all have fixed fairings. I think so. Indian Polaris is really smart, and so they'll literally sit back and look at how many Road Glides are being sold in the country this past year. Let's say they look at 2018 and see how many Road Glides are being sold. If there's a market there, they'll do it. So there's no real reason to believe that they won't. They haven't told me. I'm pretty low on the totem pole when it comes to all that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Road Glides are selling bikes. Harleys are selling Road Glides. Then at some point, and I don't know when it could happen, and I don't know what it would look like, because they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose certain looks. It'd be interesting to see. But if Harley is selling Road Glides, then they'll make it, and that'd be cool, because some people come in and they say, hey man, they don't have a fixed fairing, I'm not going to buy it. And then I try to sell them like a 2009 Vision, and they don't want any part of it, and that's where I'm at. So yeah, hopefully that's the case. I hope they make it, but I don't have any idea whether or not they will.
Mississippi Moto Man, I haven't seen you in a while yet, so nice to see you. Speaking of Indian, would you guys think a Scout 60 would be a good first bike? And I put in the chat, I was trying to concentrate, is that yes, it's an amazing beginner bike.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt knows a little bit more about the Scout 60 because it's one less gear than the Scout, right? And then it has less horsepower, but it's like the same size. It's like the same.
Yeah, so seat height's the same. It's 25.3. Size-wise, it's really light. It's really easy to handle. It's got a 5-speed transmission instead of a 6-speed. It's got about 75 horsepower instead of the 100 that the 1200 has. So it'd be a great first bike. It's actually geared really, really well too. So there's not losing that 6th gear is not that big a deal. So if you don't want to go the full Scout ride, a Scout 60 would be great for a first bike, and you won't outgrow it in in like 2 months. Like an 883 would probably treat you. You'd probably outgrow that pretty quickly. But the Scout 60 has so much power that you'd be all right, and then you can at some point trade it in and then get something else.
There you go. Chris, what bike would you guys suggest for a 6'7", 300-pound guy? Damn, you're tall, dude. I'm short as shit.
You're also heavy. Whew, that's some weight.
Yeah.
I don't. God, man. So that's a tough one.
Are you looking for power? Kind of like you want to go distance? Oh, Nikki's here. I need to get some water. All right.
So a lot of it will be relative to what you want to do. So if it's just an in-town bike, there's probably a lot out there. When it comes to new motorcycles that would fit you properly.
Yeah, I got water.
There's some big boys on Indians. You have to make a couple modifications if you're 6'7", though. The weight's not that big a deal. So 300 pounds, 400 pounds, that doesn't matter as much. It's the size. So 6'7", you need to get like an extended reach seat, extended reach controls, and then probably some ape hangers or mini ape hangers to where you're a little bit more shoulder instead of so settled down. And you can do that on a lot of different bikes. You can do that on the new Indian. We've put some big boys on the Indians. But if you can make those modifications, you can do that to just about any bike. As far as, at least I think so in the new world. If you to go used, there's probably like, God, man. I mean, you're gonna have to make modifications. I think no matter what, being 6'7", like they don't make bikes built for you because they don't. The majority of folks aren't as big as you, so I think you'd have to find a bike, and you can do it on an Indian, you can do it on a Victory. If they don't make Victories anymore, but if you found a Victory, you'd probably be more comfortable than any other bike that you sat on that bike, and that's probably the right bike actually. And you can make a couple different modifications to it, and it'll fit you like a glove. You're gonna have to spend some money if you buy any other bike. So yeah.
Yay. I'm just here to try to read the questions.
I insulted somebody right there.
Like in 883.
I'm sorry, man. Damn. It's the Scout 60 is awesome though.
Yay. Hey Connor, how you doing, man? We're good. We're good. I need to stop drinking though. I guess I need to go.
Yeah, because your wife said you need to drink water.
Yeah. It's my son's birthday tomorrow too, so I gotta be home.
Well, I'll drop you off. We live right down the street.
You can drop me off with my car?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking at a Yamaha MT-10, and this is the 6'7", dude. I don't know too much about that bike. That's like a smaller bike, isn't it? That's the sport bike.
Yeah. Isn't the MT...
It's like an FZ10, FZ07, FZ09, MT. It's all the same, I think.
MT's the Euro thing, right?
Yeah, it's how they call. It's the same bike.
So it's an FZ10, essentially?
Something like that.
Right, or FZ1?
FZ10 in America.
Okay,
yeah.
Thanks.
See?
All right, FZ1, FZ10 or FZ1 or something.
FZ.
All right, so... Man, I don't know if you'll fit on that damn thing.
Yeah, I fit decently on the FZ07, and I'm 5'6".
I mean, body wise, it's not very different. I mean, that's sport bike's probably the wrong bike for a guy your size, man. And I don't know.
Adventure bikes might work.
Yeah, could be.
Like a BMW or something.
Yeah, if you did an adventure bike, it might work. Problem with that is that they're mid controls anyway, so your knees are going to be like 10 inches above the tank, and you're going to look silly. So that'll be fun to watch. You should do that. Yeah, you should. I want to see that. No, man, I don't know. I can't tell you not to buy the bike you want. If it's something that you like, then go ahead and do it. But I can't. You're just too big. Like, you're a big dude. So sorry.
That's the way it is. So Connor says he is 6'3", 310. Would he need a bigger bike than a Scout?
6'3", 310. So I think the Scout, you can do extended reach seat, extended reach controls, and extended reach bars, and fit a guy your length. The problem is your weight. So if you end up, if you're riding it around town and you just kind of want something to not sit on for too long, then it'd be fine. You'd be great. If you're looking for a bike to take 3 states over, it's not going to work. The suspension's not built for you. You could probably make some modifications to make it better, but you probably belong on something slightly larger. So
Springfield, right?
yeah, any of the Chiefs. You can go from Scout to Dark Horse. Dark Horse you'd fit fine on, and you wouldn't have to make any sort of modification to it. So, but at 6'3", you can make the Scout fit you. I think the Scout fits people 5 foot with modifications, 5 foot to 6'4". So comfortably. I mean, I know like 6'6" could probably fit on it. It just depends. But yeah, if you make those modifications to a Scout, and then maybe you figure out the suspension, it might work for you. But I wouldn't recommend it, man. I think you'd be better on a Dark Horse if you're comfortable with the ride. And you're going from a 500-pound bike to a 750-pound bike, and that's a big difference.
Yeah, the Springfield is easy bike to ride. I thought I'd have an issue at my height.
Mm-hmm.
I could flat foot it, and it was easy to control. Forward controls, all that stuff. It was good, comfy. It was really comfy.
Yup.
Yeah. Mississippi says, sit on a Honda Fury, see what you think. To Chris, the 6'7" dude. That's that like chopper looking bike, right?
Yep. Honda Fury's got that chopper look to it. It's all stretched out and stuff like that. So you can totally sit on any bike you can. Like if you see something at the dealer, sit on it. And you see another one, sit on it. And I mean, at some point you might find something that fits you.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I had Nikki sit on a bunch of bikes.
No, 6'3", 300. There's bikes out there for you. You could go any different direction. 6'7", you're in for a chore to find something that fits you properly. Stock. You can modify anything though, so that'll work.
So MTG says, here's the true question I want answered. What's the best way to determine which height of handlebars is best for me?
Whatever's comfortable. Like,
yeah, that's really what it is.
I mean, if it's aside from looks, like some people just like the ape hangers because they look cool. So they're not going to do you any good if you can't ride, properly with them. So that's a problem. So I like the look of ape hangers. It's good, they're cool and stuff like that.
That's what you had on the 08 Nightster, right?
Yep. Would I put them on a bike now? No chance, because you can't. I don't feel like I have as well as control of my motorcycle.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't like about ape hangers.
With apes, but they look sweet. So if we recommend ape hangers or taller bars for taller people. So if you're a taller guy and you want a little more, less stress on your wrists and less stress on your arms and shoulders and back, then by all means, yeah, put maybe a mini ape on there, like a 12-inch ape or something like that.
Yeah, but it's not just about buying the bars too. When you go out and buy something that's longer bars like mini apes or apes, you might have to get cables and there's a bunch of different stuff you got. It adds to it. So just kind of budge that if you're gonna do that.
Yep.
But the best way to try it out is to do demo rides and then find ones with ape hangers or different types of bars, and you kind of like to feel how you're turning on that bike. It's one thing going straight. That's one thing I found out. Going straight on with ape hangers is comfy. But then when you got to turn with ape hangers and forward controls, I didn't feel as comfortable. But once again, that's all about just getting used to the bike. So, I mean, there's people out there with ape hangers and forward controls that can outride sport bikes. So
yeah, I could. I mean, I rode the Harley pretty hard with ape hangers on it, and it was fine. The thing is that, if you're not accustomed to anything else, then it'll be natural to you. And then you try something else, and that's probably where you want to be, or you don't know unless you ride it. So, If there's a bike with ape hangers on it, you can try it out and see if you like it. If you tour a lot, it's nice because you spend less time in corners and more time on the straightaways. So that's a big deal. You spend hours and miles on straightaways to where it doesn't matter and you're comfortable in that point. And then all you have to worry about is the corners every now and then. But if you're just around town or something like that, it's probably fine too.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I found out though with the forward controls and ape hangers, it's pretty hard to do like figure eights and U-turns and stuff for what I do in the parking lot. So it might be an issue in a parking lot. So I mean, if you're gonna have to do it, turn around and stuff, you might have to walk it a little bit. You're not gonna be able to actually sit up on the seat. So some bumps. There's a bunch of different stuff with that. But anyways, what would we recommend? Bar risers on stock bars or higher bars for a tall guy on a light dual sport bike?
You do risers. You're fine if it's comfortable. So the problem with it is that your ergonomics of just doing risers, that bar might not fit properly once you go, that high. And if that's the case, then man, it's tough. So at that point, then it'd be best just to do a bar and keep your regular stock risers. So I would try to research whatever motorcycle you have and see what everybody else has been doing. That's the beauty of the internet is everybody's done something.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to find it and kind of feel what's comfortable for you. So if you do just risers and the bar doesn't fit properly at that height, then you got to figure something else out, and it's just more money and more time and more frustration if you're trying to figure it out soon. So
yeah, there's a bunch of bikes out there, guys. It's not just Harley and Yamaha, Honda. I mean, there's tons of different bikes and tons of different types of models out there. I mean, they have a model for everyone pretty much. So you just gotta find it, and that's the best thing about dealerships is that you go sit on some bikes and ask some questions, and then go to a different dealership, sit on some bikes, ask some questions, and then one dealer has a demo ride, do a demo ride, ride as many bikes as you possibly can, and then another cool thing about taking the BRC1 class is that they have a ton of different bikes out there usually, and you can ride a bike that you've never ridden before. Just the more bikes you ride, you're gonna figure out what you like, because cruisers are different than sport bikes. Sport bikes are different than adventure bikes. You're gonna find what you feel comfortable on, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I feel more comfortable on an adventure bike than a cruiser. I just have a cruiser. I don't like sport bikes as much, but I like riding it. So I mean, adventure bikes are fun. They really are for me, anyways. If you plan to go to Sturgis via Wyoming, keep apes below shoulders and for maneuvering as well. Yeah, Arizona actually has something where you have to have the apes below your shoulder too. So some states are a little bit different.
I think they got rid of that.
They got rid of that?
I think so.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
Not like anybody paid attention to it anyway.
Yeah, no, I would see it all the time. Yeah, just be careful if you go different states too. But yeah. Guys, got any questions for Motos with Matt? We're actually once we get the once I get the house and I get the room set up, I plan on doing a podcasting. Right now, it's just kind of the one webcam. I plan on, if you ever watch Joe Rogan or any of the other podcasts, how they do live stream stuff and have multiple cameras and stuff.
You watch podcasts?
Yeah, you can watch Joe Rogan.
You watch them?
Yeah, I watch it.
I thought it was just audio.
No, I watch him. Have you never watched Joe Rogan?
No.
Dude, it's pretty funny. It's pretty cool.
Huh.
Yeah, I like watching. That's the only way I do it. I just played on YouTube. He had one today.
So he posts on YouTube?
Yeah, he does. He streams it live on YouTube.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I'll be doing that. I'm gonna have I'm gonna build a desk and everything and put it in the room. We're gonna do a weekly podcast / live stream, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So this is a great time to ask questions. But we're gonna have topics and stuff like this. And then possibly have some guests on. That'd be kind of cool. So like have maybe invite over a mechanic, your guys, off duty. No. Maybe no. Okay. We'll just get drunk on camera. I think that's what we'll do.
You could ask me. You could ask us a mechanical question. We'll just Google it real quick and then we'll say it. We'll give you an answer. Yeah.
Okay.
You do that.
Fine. All right. How high is too high? for ape hangers, hands go numb.
I mean, that's all relative to who you are. Like,
Yeah.
I guarantee a 12-inch ape hanger on me is probably, versus a 20-inch ape hanger is probably different for somebody. So that's a tough one. If you're going numb, it's probably not a good idea.
No,
so
that's not good.
I'm all for having a good time, but that's too much. Don't go numb.
What's your favorite bike right now?
FTR.
Yeah, that's mine too.
FTR doesn't have ape hangers. Go that route.
There you go.
No numbness.
Dan, you sneaky person. Yeah, sneaky. I sneaky. I need to. Man, I just opened this beer, but I'm not gonna drink it.
Oh, you have to. You can't let it go to waste.
No, I gotta go.
No, we'll get you some water.
I've been drinking water.
Amanda will put some essential stuff in it.
It's 100% pure.
And she's squared
oils.
away. Yeah, man, you'll be all right.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Ergo Fit. Yeah, that one's a cool bike.
Vulcan S. Yeah. Yep.
You could change it to a lot of different ride styles. Yeah.
Jealous of the beard, Kevin. Jealous of the beard, but does Indian have that adjusting windscreen copyrighted? Or can anyone aftermarket that in the future?
No, it's not copyrighted. Actually, BMW does it. Can-Am Spyder does it. Oh. Yeah. I think that's it. BMW, they've been doing it for a while now. But it's not copyrighted, which makes you wonder why Harley hasn't jumped on board. And it's just kind of weird, man. I don't know. But it's a really cool thing. So you don't have to get this huge, 12-inch, 14-inch visor. You can just keep your short one and then just raise it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was playing with it.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool.
I was messing with it on the demo ride. It's pretty fun. It was awesome. We got about 2-3 more minutes, and we're gonna head out, and then we'll do a 1-hour live stream. But we want to do this stuff every week. We're actually thinking about creating a whole new channel, just dedicated to the live streams and a few other things. But I talk about that on the Discord, so check out the Discord. But Motors with Matt, we're gonna try to get a video once a week.
Ooh.
Once a week at least.
Just one, guys.
I mean, if I can do like 2 a day almost, you can do once a week. All right.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna do this podcast live stream type thing, and it's gonna be a lot of fun because we're gonna have it at my place, and then since I'm gonna live close to Matt, we could easily do it. Have my own studio and all that stuff. Right now we're just doing it in the living room on the dining table.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool. We're able to get this little thing, my little Rode mic. So hopefully the audio's been great. Matt's gonna get some royalties. Another thing is that we just set up the Streamlabs thing for Matt. So this is his profile. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna actually create a whole new channel. I think we're gonna call it like Shoulder to Shoulder or something like that. Something special. But if you want to support Matt, this link goes directly to him. It's not a Dan the Fireman thing. It goes straight to him. So if you want to check out the link, we might create like a Patreon, do all that stuff for the podcast and all that. But I think it'll be a lot of fun. But if you would like to support him with that, just for funsies, it should pop up on screen on the next live stream. But anyways, actually I think we're done. I've been talking for the 2-3 minutes there.
You don't shut up.
I don't shut up. I'm used to talking.
It's incredible, actually.
It takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of practice.
All right.
Last question here. Is the Slingshot actually considered a bike or a trike? Bike/trike.
So in the majority of states in America, it's considered an auto cycle. So it's half car, half bike. But here in Arizona, you just need a driver's license in order to operate it legally. Some have different classes, so each state is different. I think a lot of them have it figured out to where you could just use a driver's license. Some still require a motorcycle license. Polaris took probably the cheapest for one and the quickest avenue in order to get these things out on the market. So they did it as motorcycle first, and then they worked on getting them classed differently to get more people driving them and owning them. So it depends on where you are, but I think the majority of states have it figured out as auto cycles, and you can just use a driver's license now. And they're fun. They're adult go-karts. They're really, really fun. They're not like a bike at all. If you have any sort of, want to be on a motorcycle, but you're interested in those, I mean, it's completely different, but they're a blast.
Yeah, I haven't ridden one yet, or ridden one.
You've driven them.
I haven't.
No, I know, it's dry. You drive it. It's got a steering wheel and a clutch, shifter.
A shifter. But yeah, we're gonna be heading out. I gotta go home. I'm gonna wait a little while. Obviously, don't drink and drive, guys. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna drink some more water.
Don't do it.
And then go home. Tomorrow's my kid's birthday.
Birthday!
He's 12.
He's 12. 12.
You have to use 3 hands. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna be heading out, but I'm gonna be setting up this stuff. I'm gonna be like the producer. Because I have all the time in the world now, because you guys make it possible. But we need to get.
I have a job. Still.
Yeah, he's got a real job. You know.
It's fun though.
Yeah. But we're gonna have a lot of fun doing this stuff. So we'll be seeing you guys soon. So we'll be seeing you later. All right.
Yup. Later.